Welcome to the Southern U Podcast, brought to you by Darden Archery on the OKest Podcast Network, with your co-host, Matt Brock, Jeremy Ferguson, and Taylor McMurtry. If you're looking for all things land-related in the Southeast, you came to the right place. Whether it's real estate, habitat, wildlife, or just being outdoors, this is the place for you. Welcome to the Southern U. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Southern U Podcast. Matt's still with us, y'all. You see him throwing his headset on.
I was on Facebook.
And talk all things land related. I know we just kind of assume that everybody that listens to this thing has listened to us for a long time, and that's not always the case. I feel like there's some of you guys that this may be the first episode you've ever seen, or first couple episodes or whatever. So kind of get in the routine of saying the same thing, but we talk about land stuff in the Southeast because it's different here than it is in the Midwest and far West and wherever, Northeast. It's just different climates, different soil types, all that kind of stuff. And we talk habitat management and hunting, recreational stuff, farm, ag, all that good stuff. So if you don't know, this guy over here is Jeremy.
What's up?
He is a knower of most things land related. He is a
knower of most, expert of none.
Well, that's all right. Just knower of, you just have to know some stuff. It's a knower of things. This guy over here is Matt. He's also a knower of most things, especially we recently found out the reptile variety.
Yeah, he really knows a lot about hemipenes, apparently.
If you don't know what that is, don't Google it.
Yeah, go back to the last episode and find out what a hemipene is.
That's right. Yep. Yes, if you want to skip towards the end, I think it was towards the last third or so.
Yep.
But yeah, both these guys are wildlife biologists. They both have experience both in the private sector and working for the state as state biologists, and they've got a lot of experience in that regard under their belts. And I don't know, what do you guys have combined? About 40-ish years experience, something like that?
40 plus.
Yeah, now we do.
Yeah,
sure do.
So
I graduated in 05 from Auburn.
I graduated in 07.
There you go. So
that would be exactly 40 years.
Yep, exactly.
19 to 21.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And if, just to throw a little blurb out there about the Habitat Network, and you add all of us up, and you've got hundreds of years of experience in the.
That's right. And if you're not familiar with what that is, it's just a network, a collection of professionals in the wildlife and but habitat space.
Yeah.
And in the Southeast specifically. So we've got professionals from biologists to foresters to drone pilots to burn managers across almost every state in the Southeast now.
Yeah. So,
and that continues to grow. And if you want more information about that, we'll probably plug it again here at the end of the episode. But So today's episode, we're gonna talk. I know it's kind of a little early, maybe for most people in the South,
but we're excited.
We are excited. So dang excited. Especially Jeremy. Jeremy didn't.
I am pumped.
He didn't get a chance to fling arrows last year.
Not one,
because he had shoulder surgery and he had to sort of sit the year out. And
one of the hardest trips, 2-week. Well, actually, nearly 3-week trips to Kansas of my life.
Can you imagine going to Kansas and not being able to hunt 3 weeks?
So
watching
bad.
Everybody else shoot a big deer.
I took some good pictures, though.
Yes. Yeah, being in the land of giants out there and having to sit there and twiddle your thumbs would.
Yeah, well, if I'd have killed one last year, they'd probably hung me up for it, considering I didn't draw a tag either.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're gonna need a tag.
That's an important part of the equation.
Speaking of, I do have one this year.
Hey,
you did draw a tag?
I did draw a tag.
Heck yeah.
And he is physically able.
Yep. Well, physically, maybe not mentally.
No, but yeah, that's what we're going to talk about. Is just kind of getting, even though everybody's still bass fishing right now, and
PP on a bass. If I'm fishing, I'm tied up under a bridge, ripping old soft lips,
paper mouth.
That's it.
Yep.
Getting some crappie, snatching them out of the river and throwing them in the hot grease.
Speaking of, it's about time to eat some more. I got some that need to be cooked.
And we've been eating fish all summer. I've got so much fish in the freezer.
Y'all, I'm telling you.
Dad's neighbor Larry brought me some slabs of bluefin.
Let's go.
I'm excited about getting them cooked.
I ate some last week. I don't even know what it was. Like I normally label it.
Triggerfish?
It's a big fillet and it tastes good, but I can't really pinpoint exactly what it is. I know it's a saltwater fish.
Oh,
that's all I can tell you.
I was thinking carp.
It's not carp. No.
Ugh. I'm telling y'all, since we've lived here in this house, we've got the creek, Slab Creek's right there on our property, and I have found myself on my lunch break, I got a home office here, and I try to just get up. All right, at lunch, I've got to get up and move my body. I can't sit here anymore. And so I'll usually just take a walk or go down to the creek or do something. And I just conveniently leave the old spinning reel down there, the boat. And so I'll, on my lunch break, go down there and wet a line in the creek and snatch up some of those red-breasted sunfish.
Taylor cooks up some whole fryers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have to be. They're little. Yeah, they're pretty small, but
fun to catch anyway.
But gosh, man, they are so pretty.
Man, creek fishing is a blast.
To me,
so much fun.
A long-ear sunfish is the prettiest freshwater fish on earth. I don't think you can find a prettier fish anywhere than a long-ear.
I don't know, man. I like
I've always had trouble finding their ears.
Just look a little harder. They're there.
I like those. Of course, now I've not gotten to catch one, especially not like a native one, but I would love to catch a native brook trout, in mountains of North Georgia, Tennessee.
Yeah, they look beautiful.
They are gorgeous.
They're beautiful.
God, they're awesome. I went to Colorado a few years back, and I was not able to catch a cutthroat trout like I really wanted to, but I did catch some native rainbows and native browns, and that was awesome.
Yep.
So,
yeah, we got to catch a few in Wyoming. I think it was on the is there Shenandoah River out there?
Yeah. Maybe that sounds right.
Sounds right to me. I think that's what we caught them on.
That sounds right. But anyways, obviously that's fun, and we're going to keep doing some of that too. But we are going to intentionally talk about this a little earlier than people might be thinking of it. But archery season, deer season prep is upon us, and if you're not preparing yourself now, you may not have quite as much success. Get those reps in. You may not have quite as much success when fall rolls around and those sort of things. So we're going to talk a little bit about just gear selection and things to do to get prepared and practice regimen, I guess, that kind of thing too, and just talk a little bit about flinging some arrows.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. The kickoff to me always has seemed to be around the deer show.
Yep. Yeah, if you haven't seen the last episode, check out
the last episode. But after the deer show, I think I come back rejuvenated for archery.
Yep.
And
I stay ready for archery.
Yeah, I mean, I can shoot 12 months out of the year, but I really start shooting in July, August. I'm out there.
Yep.
I've had the hankering, and it's just a small hankering because I'm so busy. But I've had the hankering to get back on the competition shooting.
I know.
I hadn't done it since college, and I know a big problem for me is my vision now.
I was going to say I'm out. I'm out on that.
But I would love to just kind of see where I stand among the guys that still shoot a lot. I know it would be way down there, but
I don't.
At one time,
steady.
I could hang in there with some pretty good archers.
I can't hold steady like I used to could.
I
need to work out more.
No, I don't think that's it.
When I worked in Alan's shop, shout out to Alan Connor. You guys go check out. I think it was maybe the 4th episode we ever did. We had Alan on. And if you don't know him, he's one of the most accomplished 3D guys that you're ever going to meet. He's won throughout his career, named the ASA or the IBO tournament at some point in his career, he's won it.
Yeah.
He knows his stuff. But when I was in his shop, I was shooting a lot. Obviously, there, get some downtime, get to shoot, whatever. And on Tuesday nights, I think they would do the indoor dot shoots. Basically, if you're not familiar, you shoot a 5-spot target face from 20 yards, and you do that. Let's see, 6 times, so that'd give you 30 arrows. Yeah. A normal round is 60. Of course, it just takes a long time to do that. Yeah. So he would just try to make it a little bit shorter. We would do 30. And so, man, I was just like, I have shot a couple perfect rounds practicing, but never in like a competition. And I had one night where I was just like feeling, I was like, I'm gonna shoot clean tonight. And I knew I shot good, but it wasn't perfect. I knew I had a couple that got out, but I still felt like I probably won, the night or whatever. And I don't know if Patrick Griffith even listens to the show or whatever, but he was shooting that night too. And I was like, all right, I probably did all right. I shot 300 with 28 X's, which means I only had 2 that weren't perfect, inside the X. And Patrick shot 300 with 29 and got me. And I was like, come on, man. So, anyway, shout out to Patrick. He can shoot too, man. But, yeah, the 3D stuff, I do want to spend some time talking about that because even if you're not in that target, competitive scene, go join your local range. Go, if you've got someone near you, range that has 3D targets, there is a difference between shooting a block and shooting a, Vegas face or a whatever and shooting a 3D animal. Yeah. Telling you, like,
I really wish we had a setup up here because I'm fat and old now, like Hoover Tack's got down there with the indoor 60-yard 3D range.
Hey, that may be happening over at AFA. Come on, Devin. We've talked about it before. Even having Alan come potentially even run the archery side.
Don't threaten me with a good time.
No, it would be
we better
awesome.
not have somewhere indoor to shoot 3D.
I know, indoor 3D.
My wife stays mad at me enough being gone as much as I am, but
that's right.
Well, hey, we got the Morgan house up there, so she could eat while I shoot.
Exactly. So yeah, there's something for everybody.
That's right.
But yeah, I guess maybe this is the first thing. Matt, you said, hey, the deer show kind of kicks it off for me. Well, the deer show, for those of you who don't know, it's the World Deer Expo, and it's in the middle of July. So it's hot, and it's humid, and it's, there's not a whole lot of people that want to get outdoors and spend a whole lot of time flinging arrows in that heat and humidity. But why do you feel like that's important to do despite, hey, man, the deer season ain't for 3-4 more months. Why are we going to start shooting now? Whatever.
Developing muscle memory.
Yeah,
because your body is hardwired to do the same thing repetition wise. If you repeat something over and over and over and over, you don't have to think about it. So if you shoot over and over and over throughout the summer leading into the fall, when that 140-inch deer walks under you, guess what? You don't think about it.
Yep.
You just do it. And that's why I start shooting.
And we owe it to the animal.
Absolutely. I want to do everything I can to make sure that whether I'm shooting a doe or a buck, that I'm putting that arrow where it needs to go every single time.
That's right.
You're going to make mistakes because we're all human, and it's just going to happen. Things are going to happen. Deer are going to move. Wind's going to shift. All kind of things can happen. But I start in the summer. And this is crazy. I start at 60 yards and start working in. I don't start at 20 and work out. I perfect 60 yards, move into 50, move into 40, and then I'll just roll with 40 for several weeks before I start coming into 20 and 30-yard shots.
I agree.
That way, when I get out there and a deer standing at 18 yards, that's like he's
Chip
literally
shot.
right under me.
Chip shot.
Just easy.
Just poke him.
Yep.
I'm very similar, but after all my trips to the West, I've gotten to where I shoot even further. Depending on which setup I'm shooting, I've got some bows just because of the way they're set up, I can't shoot in excess of about 90 to 100 yards, but I'll try to shoot it around 100 yards in and around, and I've got different targets set up at the house to be able to do that. So
Yeah.
now, don't get me wrong, it's not like I'm shooting a bottle cap at 100 yards. You know, I'm not, but I'm trying to make sure I am very, very efficient at a 70-yard shot when I'm out west.
Yeah. Well, and I think too, just those of you listening, I could be wrong. They may correct me. If Jeremy says I'm practicing at 100 yards, is Jeremy ever going to take a shot at a whitetail deer, whether it's in Alabama, Kansas, anywhere, at 100 yards?
No.
Absolutely
Okay.
not.
Absolutely.
Not at a whitetail.
There are too many things that can go wrong. But the point is, and I've even, whoever your favorite hunting celebrity is, if that's Cam Haines that does, people tend to think he does things to the extreme.
Yeah.
Whether,
I'm
running
not
marathons.
Levi Morgan. Okay.
No.
I can't put an arrow in this at 100 yards.
Right.
Now, can I do it at a small paper plate? Yeah.
Sure.
But I'm not going to shoot an animal because you got a lot, like you said, you got a lot of stuff happening between here and there.
Yes.
Absolutely. And years ago, I pretty well stopped shooting at deer over 40.
That's my self-imposed distance in the South is about 45. Now, Kansas, I've shot deer further.
Different ball game.
Yeah, I'm okay. I will not shoot past 50. It's just not going to happen. It's about like, to me, killing a turkey at 100 yards or 80 yards with TSS. Could I? Yeah, probably. Am I going to? No.
Yeah. No, but like, that's what I'm saying. It's these guys that are like, I've even heard Cam Haines, he's like, I'm shooting this target at 146 yards. He would never shoot an animal at that distance, but if he can be fairly consistent at there, and he does get a 70-yard shot on a bull elk, that's a very realistic shot.
Absolutely.
And so I think that's the point. Like I'm kind of similar to what Matt was saying. Once I know that my sight is dialed in, I'm not worried about like pin gap and what I mean.
Right.
Everything is dialed in. Yardage is good. I'm going to shoot at 60. 60, and then I'll start doing weird yardages. I'll do 37. I'll shoot 42, 28, whatever, just odd yardages like that. And
pin gap in that Garmin's just a little bit different, ain't it?
Yeah, there's not. Matter of fact, it's non-existent with the Garmin. That's what I was going to say. Nowadays, I don't have to do that at all. But more so than anything, it's just a confidence factor.
Yeah,
like, absolutely.
I know that if I am stacking them in at 60, and I'm like, I can wad them up like my fist at 60. Okay. You know what I mean? I'm relatively confident that as long as I do what I'm supposed to do,
the equipment's going
to do what it's supposed to do. I know we've talked about them a few times before, and I don't mean to keep on, but if you have not shot a dart and bow recently, I'm talking about the dartings from the 80s. I'm talking about if you've shot a dart and bow in the last 4 years, let's just say, go shoot one.
Yep.
Just go into your pro shop, just go shoot one. Shoot them all, by the way. Shoot whatever brand you want to.
That's it.
I think you will be surprised. The new Tritech that is out now, matter of fact, I was on the phone with Randy today, and he was just like, man, like, this is the bow.
That's scary because
I don't know how you can get any better.
because those last few bows that we've had have been phenomenal bows.
Yeah.
I know. I have nothing to complain about with either sequel, the ST2 or the original, but he was just like, man, the response for this bow across, because of course there's guys that shoot the 35-inch version in the 3D target world. But he was just like, this is the bow, man. We've just never had a response quite like this across the board. So excited about that too. But yeah, like you said, as long as you do your part, you got good equipment, it's gonna work out well for you. But we talked about the kind of the muscle memory aspect of it, but I want to go back to something that you mentioned before about the mental side of just not having to think about something. Y'all have heard me talk about my buddy Kyle. We've been he's been bow hunting for a couple of years now, and it's just he has had opportunities to shoot deer, but he's held out trying to make his first bow kill be a buck or or even a older mature buck. I'm like, Kyle,
Just
shoot a deer.
Shoot
dude.
a deer.
No, man, no. And now I think he's finally going. I think I kind of understand what you're saying.
Yep.
Now, like the mental side of when the moment presents itself, you do not want to be thinking of anything, but not thinking of anything that could go wrong or make sure that I settle my pen, make sure that I do this or that. It just has to be automatic. It's got to be automatic. And I think that's another reason to start early.
Well, because
I was just going to say for years, I shoot so many does with my bow and have shot so many does with my bow.
That's what I'm talking about.
And people ask, why?
Because it's awesome.
It's practice.
Yeah, it is.
You cannot replicate that on a 3D target or a bag.
Nope.
No.
And when you're out there in the woods, and let's say that you've been hunting for 10 or 15 years, and you've shot 80 to 100 deer with a bow, and you get a chance at that once in a lifetime buck, you're going to kill him.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because you haven't been. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait and keep waiting and see what happens.
Yeah, he's going to walk out your life.
Yeah, he's going to walk right out of your life, and you're not going to kill him, or you're going to wound him, and you're not going to recover him.
Yep.
You got to make those things dead.
You got to shoot deer.
That's right. Yeah, I agree. What are you going to say?
Well, RL, tells the story all the time.
Yeah.
We had a guy in camp years ago. I had just started guiding for him, so this would have had to been right around 2008, 2009 or so. We had a guy in camp that was from Florida. Don't remember his name. Don't remember what he did, anything like that. I just remember he's from Florida. And he was having opportunities, but he just never could make it happen. And then best I remember, he shot and wounded a deer that we didn't find. And he was talking to RL, about trying to come back. And RL, I remember sitting him down and said, look, you've told us that you're up here in Pike County, Illinois, of all places, and you've never killed a deer with a bow. Go home, join a club, and shoot every deer you get the opportunity to shoot with a bow.
Just stack them up.
Do that for at least a year, maybe a couple, and then come back, and it's going to make a world of difference. Well, he did exactly that. I think it was 2 or 3 years that he got in a club down there, and he whacked and stacked nannies. And, man, he come back, to Illinois. Man, had opportunity to buck, and absolutely smoked him. And he's like, you could have sold me a hunt or 2 hunts or 3 hunts in the period of time that I haven't been back. He said, but I appreciate you telling me that. He said, it has made a world of difference in my ability to make the call on when the right time to draw is and exactly, to stand or not stand. Just all the little small aspects of hunting that I just didn't understand.
Right. Yep. And you only get that through that kind of experience.
That's it.
You can't talk somebody through it. You can't teach that to them.
Yep.
They have to experience it, period.
Yep. Well, and every game animal is different.
They're all different. Yes.
And all I was going to say is you can only get it that way, and there's so few of them. Like, going out and shooting, hey, I'm going to go shoot 50 arrows at my 3D target.
Right.
Well, like, that is a step in the right direction.
Yep.
But it is not the same as a living, breathing animal.
Nope.
That is on edge, and you've got to figure out when should I draw, how, whatever, just all those types of things. That's the only way you get that experience, and those opportunities are not abundant. It's like you can only get so many of them.
The practice in the yard is the foundation for you to be able to pull off a shot in the woods.
Yep.
Yes.
Then you've got to actually pull it off, right, Taylor?
Yes.
It can take a while.
It can take a while.
But when you do, and then you can repeat that, it's like Matt said, you don't have to think about it because so many people just get in their own head that they've got to draw just at the perfect time. No, you got to draw when you have the opportunity.
That's right.
And you better take the first opportunity.
And that you just said what I was fixing to say. I consider myself to be a successful bow hunter. And when I say successful, don't get me wrong. I'm not sitting here saying I've killed a bunch of Boone and Crockett or Pope and Young deer. I have killed a few Pope and Youngs. What I mean is I can get on a property and I can kill deer with a bow. And the reason that I feel like I can do that is because I have learned so much from making mistakes over the years. And now, when I go, there's so much involved in knowing when to draw, how to draw. And sometimes it may even mean that you draw and decide, hey, I don't need to take the shot.
Right.
Yep.
That happens a good bit.
Absolutely.
But you will not learn those lessons if you're not out there doing it. You've
No.
got to shoot deer. You can't watch deer and let them continue to walk by you every day with a bow in your hand and expect to kill the first one you shoot at.
No.
And you can get rusty.
You absolutely can.
Absolutely.
I
The
mean,
best thing for my confidence, like a few years ago, I don't know. I still don't know what happened. But a few years ago, I shot like 3 or 4 deer and didn't get them. And I wasn't doing anything wrong.
I remember one deer you shot more than once.
Several times. But I was just like, this is like affecting me mentally. Now, every time I think about drawing my bow, I'm worried, is this going to be a repeat of the last 3?
Yep.
So the best thing that could have happened to me was killing deer. And I killed like 22 deer in a row with my bow without losing a single one. Then I lost one.
Yep.
And you know which one I lost? The biggest of the 23.
That's right.
So
That's the way it happens.
exactly. And, he was fine.
What did Bruce say, Bruce Almighty? That's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
But, after that, I was just like, man, you've killed 22 deer with your bow in a row.
Yeah.
And this is no big loss. You anticipated this deer dropping at 35 yards. He did not drop.
Which is very uncommon. by the
Very
way,
at that
for
distance
around here.
Yes, at that distance, at 35 yards, you can pretty well bank on a deer dropping several inches. Y'all, he didn't move.
Look, a
So-
doe will turn inside out and turn around in 35 yards
No
in
joke.
Alabama.
I don't like shooting does over 25 yards in Alabama. And even when I do, y'all, this is funny, but y'all gonna probably laugh at me. If I do shoot a doe over 30, I aim right here.
Yeah.
I aim
Yeah.
at the crease in her leg, not here in the body. I aim down here because that brisket is touching ground when you release that arrow.
Them some guns turn inside out.
They do.
They do, especially. And it's funny, though, because the exact opposite has been my experience in the Midwest.
Absolutely.
They will stand there and take it and just look at you like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
whack,
Yep.
ow. You know what I mean? Like, and they don't do that around here, though. My dad says it this way. He'll be like, if you shoot one in Alabama, it's like they almost know what has just happened.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like, oh, I messed up. Like I knew
Right.
I shouldn't be in here. You know what I mean? And then they take off and
Yeah.
do a flip. It's like
Yep.
almost like they got caught with their hand in the cookie jar or
Look,
something.
I've not killed a ton of deer in the Midwest, but I've killed quite a few. I've never had one what we would call just
Drop.
bottom fall out.
Duck
Yeah.
the arrow.
I mean, they might flinch a little bit, and they'll by flinching they're going to drop a little bit. But I've not had one that's like the bottom fell out from under.
No.
Several years ago, I videoed several doe. It was 2 years ago. I videoed several doe kills. And I shot in one weekend 2 does at 35 yards. And on both of them, if you slow the frame down, had I aimed where the doe was standing, I would have missed both of them.
Yep. I believe it. At that
Completely,
distance.
not shot them high, completely missed them. Because where my arrow actually went into the body cavity, I shot below the body cavity and they dropped straight down into it.
Yeah.
Had I shot at the body cavity, it would have been several inches over their back.
Yep.
And that happens on 90% of the does you shoot in Alabama.
Well, and the thing is, how would you possibly have known that?
Experience is
Experience.
the only
That's it.
way.
If you've never killed one, you go, okay, I'm going to put it right behind the shoulder, 35, let it rip. Oh, well, what happened?
The vast
That's not
majority
what
of,
happened on my target.
Yeah.
the vast majority of people that spine them
Yes.
or hit them at, everybody calls no man's land, they are not factoring in that drop. Sometimes, you just mess up and you shoot high. But a lot of folks just like, you say, well, did you hold a little low? No, I held right in the lungs. There you go.
Yep. But if you didn't have someone to tell you that, The only way you would know it is if you shot over one's back and go, crap, okay, I know what not to do now. Got to do it different. But yeah, I do y'all take into effect like weather or wind conditions before you take a shot? Like does it affect the distance you're willing to shoot?
Yes.
100%. In Kansas these days, I don't even go to the tree.
If I can't stay in this tree, I don't know what my hair is going to do when it comes out.
Yeah, well, number one is if the tree's blowing like that, there's no way to stay on target.
Yeah.
No, it's just not possible.
I like a 8 to 12 mile an hour wind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because this is the worst time to draw on a deer is when it is dead still.
Oh, they hear
30
everything.
minutes before dark. The
yes,
wind dies.
You're the last half hour of daylight, and crickets are the only thing you hear is crickets chirping. Down here, I don't know what you hear in the Midwest at that time of year, but down here, if it's early season, you're going to hear dead silence and crickets. Mm-hmm. And guess what?
They hear that string.
They hear they'll hear you draw.
They hear that string rolling on the cam.
Yes, they do. and that is the most stressful draw for me. Are those dead silent afternoons.
Well, that matter of fact, that one that you killed, that 138 or whatever.
Oh, it was
dead quiet.
Yes.
I edited the video and I'm like, how is he going to kill this deer? It is dead silent,
Yeah, it was dead silent that day.
In an instance like that, I love to catch them, and this isn't always possible, but when they notice something else moving,
yes,
and they stop and they turn and look at that, so their attention, I try to get back right then.
Mm-hmm. And look, so cars driving by, and over there in West Alabama, one thing that I use to my advantage,
people hollering Roll Tide.
No, we've got Columbus Air Force Base.
Oh, okay.
When a jet flies over, I'm drawing.
Yeah,
if the opportunity's there. Jets flying over, I'm drawing because I know that's going to mask any sounds that I make.
That's so funny. Yeah, like you're near a train, like, gosh,
I'll
set my watch to the train, like, oh, hurry up.
Yep.
No, by far, like, it's so funny if you look at all the animals that I have shot with a bow. There's like, if it was like a graph or a chart or whatever, there would be all these that are 20 yards in the inside would just be, and then I've got one over here that's like 35. I got another one that's like 32. And then I have one over here at 60. And it's the only shot I've ever taken at an animal that far. It's probably the only time I'll ever do it.
Yeah.
But it was because the conditions were perfect. Mm-hmm. Like I drew back and let down. You're talking about, hey, maybe I don't need to take this shot. Mm-hmm. I drew back and let down 4 times. Mm-hmm. It's like, this is stupid. That's 60 yards. A million things can go wrong. Just let it down. And then it just kept standing there. Like, draw back again. Like, and finally it steps out of my shooting lane and leaves, I think. I'm like, good. I can hang my bow up. I don't have to worry about this anymore. I was in a climber, so I just hang it up, sit back down. Well, a few minutes later, I look up, and now it's come back, and now it's standing in the same shooting lane with facing the opposite direction. Mm-hmm. And I'm just like,
that's a sign, Lord.
Yep.
Yeah, I get my bow, and now at this point, I'm sitting down.
They're just going.
Right
there it is. Come on.
Daring me. So at this point, I'm sitting down before I was standing. And I go, there's a bigger opening for me to shoot through. Mm-hmm. If this was in hardwoods, I'm like, I could fit one through there. And so I tell myself, I'm going to draw back on this deer. And if this pin does anything squirrely, if I can't keep it still if it's not just settles dead on her rib cage, then I'm letting down again. Well, I draw back and I go, it just sits there. And I was like, whatever, here we go. Whack. And then it worked. But she had no idea I was there. Mm-hmm. Number one, like she wasn't, didn't smell me. Wind was good. But also, like you said, I had a little bit of a breeze, probably about 5 miles an hour in my face, just enough to make the leaves rustle, make some noise. So didn't hear the bow go off, or if she did, never moved. And so it worked, but it literally, everything was perfect. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I just the only scenario where I would have done that. So,
Well, you mentioned something, and this gets really deeper into archery. But talk about your pen just sitting there. One thing that I have found talking to newer hunters is what they're focused on versus target or pin.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to be target focused.
Yep.
yeah.
Yep.
And on that same topic, I know that people get used to shooting. When you think of aiming, a lot of people think of aiming like down, either a shotgun or using a scope rifle.
Yep.
You're closing one eye, and looking through the scope.
Yep.
Got to use two.
Use two. I'm telling y'all, have both eyes open, because usually what you want to do is get close your eye for a second so that your dominant eye can grab that pin.
Yep.
Or the target, whatever can lock on. Then you can open up that eye, or at least crack it. At least allow light to come in your non-dominant eye. And at that point, especially if you've got multiple deer around you and multiple sets of eyeballs, doing stuff, you can, as that deer's walking in and out of trees, whatever, you can keep on the pin while also kind of out of your periphery, see what else is going on. If you're just locked in with one eye, you can't do that. You don't know what's going on, and it's hard to.
And it is doable being cross-eye dominant. I'm cross-eye dominant. I'm left-eye dominant. I shoot a bow right-handed. And I do kind of what you have to talk about. I'll kind of blink my non-dominant eye, or actually it's my dominant eye.
Yeah.
I'll wink it just a little bit, and my right eye will kind of lock on. And I mean, same thing goes for shooting a handgun. Mm-hmm. You learn to. Look, the brain is an amazing organ.
It really is.
If you train it, it will do it.
Yep.
But you got to train it.
Mm-hmm. And see, I lock in both eyes on the deer, the target.
Yes.
Yeah.
And my pen is just a blur. It's just a blur. I don't look at my pen.
Yep.
Now, I may look at it as I'm drawing and getting settled in, but when I come time to shoot, I'm looking at the deer
if you're
with
trying,
both eyes.
like we're sitting here inside, and there's a bottle between me and Taylor. If I'm trying to shoot that bottle cap, I cannot focus on the pen and put it on that cap, because then the cap gets really fuzzy, and it's hard to make sure you're where you need to be. Mm-hmm. But if you'll focus on that target, and that, and a lot of people don't really understand that your body kind of has a natural pattern of movement. If you shoot enough, you'll see that. Mm-hmm. Some people, their pen is going to float in a circular, and some
clockwise,
people, it may be counterclockwise, but you learn that, and then you can kind of learn to lock in on what exactly is going on with your shots.
That, and I think Dudley calls it shooting proud. What he means is, you're not to get too deep in the weeds on form, but a lot of times, especially if you shot a lot that day, you tend to get fatigued, start to get tired, and your form will start to deteriorate. And you can draw back, and instead of, kind of getting everything linear, getting your shoulder blades and your chest out and that sort of stuff, and holding form like you normally would, you can kind of slouch or whatever. And when that kind of stuff happens, you end up hitting, especially like, well, I had my pen, well, I shot high or I shot low, and it's because your
form was
don't know
You're breaking it down.
Yeah, you don't know that, but your
breaking down.
Form is starting to break down, and I had to figure it out for myself, because I was killing deer, but it didn't matter the distance. It didn't matter the size of the animal. Like, if I was hunting from elevated position, whether that's a stand or a shooting house or whatever, I would kill them, but I hit them high.
You know why?
Every time.
You weren't bending at the waist.
Well, that's what you're saying is part of it.
Yeah.
But my thing is, I've figured out about myself, even on the ground, I'm bad about, essentially what it is target panic. But if I'm trying to hit that cap like this, instead of my pen coming up and letting my pen get here and shooting, I'm going, let it rip.
Yeah,
and then when it does
you're
that,
anticipating it and then moving it up.
Yes, and so
punching that release,
always hitting high.
Yep.
And so basically, I had to retrain my brain to go, all right, I'm going to hold hard in this dot if I'm out here in the yard or whatever. And wherever the arrow goes is where the arrow goes. I don't care. I just want to make sure that I'm taking good shots.
Yep.
Not punching the trigger, not anticipating anything. And so really what it came down to is I had my pin set to shoot high. You know what I mean? Like if I actually put the pin where it was supposed to be, I'm going to hit high every time because I'm dipping with before I shoot. So I had to kind of reset my brain on that kind of stuff. And I'm just like, if I shoot low, I'm just going to shoot low.
Yep. Well, see, and I noticed pretty early on that, if you're shooting on a level field and then you get in an elevated position, rather than moving your head, you're changing the mechanics of everything.
Yeah.
Your anchor point, all that changes if you are moving your head.
That's right.
I want to keep that level position and then move my waist. I want to bend at the waist. Because if you do it any other way, you're going to change your point of impact.
Yes, and not to get too off on the rails there, but that's kind of why a saddle is easy to shoot out of.
Yes.
If you're in a stand, I never really thought about this before, but Ernie from Tethered, he broke it down this way when we were on a hunt together. I'd never killed anything out of a saddle before, and I had my knees in the tree and basically shot it from what would be a seated position. I shoot this pig, and I said, man, I absolutely smoked that pig. I mean, I put it through its armpit, and it was just like, I don't know. I was just impressed by how it worked. And he said, well, yeah, you think about it. If you're standing on flat ground, where is your hinge? Your ankles. That's a whole lot of weight for your ankles to have to, control. But if you're sitting down in a stand or if you're in a saddle, where's your hinge now?
It's all upper body.
It's right here, just in your hips. So, I mean, and if you got your knees into the tree, that's like having a rest for a rifle. You know what I mean? You're set up. So, you don't have to worry about this side of things, as much. You can just hinge over at your hips and it's a lot easier.
I'll tell you what was new for me. Hunting out west and shooting up.
Oh yeah.
My friend, that's a whole new experience.
Yeah, on the 3D circuit, that one will eat your lunch on a steep uphill incline shot.
That one and the target that's like 3 feet from your toe.
Yes. Your stabilizer, if you got the long stabilizer, you can touch it.
Yeah.
Shoot.
A lot of people miss that one.
Yeah. They make cut charts for that.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like, hey, depending on your draw length and your arrow speed, then you can determine, all right, if I think that target is 3.5 yards, you can look at a chart and go, okay, you need to dial to 41.
40, yeah.
or something like that. It's crazy.
And people are like, what?
I know. I know it is funny. Well, I've talked about in this kind of getting prepped and shooting and getting mechanics down, I want to talk a little bit about equipment. Do you guys believe, I'll give you my opinion later, but do y'all believe in shooting your broadheads as a part of your prep? Or
It's all I shoot. I don't even shoot field points.
So I shoot only mechanical now.
yeah.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah. So
Man, a mechanical
Speaking of failure points,
I mean, a mechanical broadhead, a good one, will kill it. Anything walks the earth, graveyard dead.
Well, let me tell
I
you.
just want to give him a hard time.
Oh, I know.
So I used to shoot fixed blade heads, Thunderhead, Slick Trick, Muzzy. I've tried them all. Slick Trick are probably my favorite of those.
Good head.
But no matter how well my bow was tuned, I always had a couple of flyers and a group of a dozen arrows that just would not do right.
And that's the head.
It is.
A lot of times
it is. And I never could just get the fine tuning in to my standards. And even with the arrows that I did have that would fly pretty good, they don't group as good as the field points. So I started shooting mechanical, and I can tell you with those arrows that we're shooting.
Oh, yeah. I think all of us are shooting X impacts.
The X impacts are unbelievable.
Yeah.
With a 2-inch cut mechanical, I've shot probably a dozen deer over 200 pounds, and I have failed. I have not gotten a complete pass through on the 0 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Like
and that was which broadhead?
That's with the wasp jackknife.
Okay.
That's the 2-blade.
That's the 2-blade. The
Yeah.
jackhammer's a 3, right?
Jackhammer's a
Yeah.
3-blade. But yeah, with the wasp jackknife, I'm getting complete penetration with that 4mm arrow.
Mm-hmm.
And they penetrate unlike any other arrow I've ever shot
Man.
with a mechanical.
Yeah.
I shot mechanical for years and would get,
Mm-hmm.
marginal penetration on some of these larger bodied bucks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all.
Yeah.
Well, and a lot of designs have changed in the mechanical world too. Instead of your old fold back blades, a lot of them have these slip cams and things. They're better. I mean, when I go out west, primarily I'm pronghorn hunting generally for me. I'm shooting a big 2-inch or 2.5 shoot. It may be bigger than that. It's a Rage.
Oh yeah,
The
a
Rage
2.
hypodermics. Have great luck, and look, believe it or not, pronghorns are pretty tough critters, especially from a skeletal system. They're not much to shoot through if you don't hit bone or shoulder, but if you do, don't really matter what you shoot. And they're tough animals. But I moved back to a shooting fixed heads on all whitetail several years ago. And I was kind of like Matt. I shot all of them, tried just a little bit of everything, and I settled on Exodus. I don't know how many years I've been shooting them now.
It's good.
Probably
good
shortly thereafter when they came out. But Matt referenced having always having a couple of flyers when it comes to having a pack or two, in your quiver. I spin test every arrow, and I move heads and I change blades, and I am overly meticulous with my archery stuff. If it if it doesn't spin perfect, I may shoot it in the yard, but I'm not taking anything out of the information it's given me other than I'm able to shoot for form.
Right.
Because, it may be flying different, but I will take, generally, I'll take 3 arrows, build them out that spin perfect, and I'll shoot them, make sure they're acting right. And if they do, those are the 3 that I shoot and practice with. So after that, and I've truthed those are ones that are going in my quiver with different blades. So I do not carry an arrow in the woods that has not been shot.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, so, gosh, y'all, I'm trying not to nerd out too bad. But like Matt talking about snakes. So
Matt and his hemipines.
So
I don't have
this is the flyer kind of inconsistency issue with a fixed blade head. Like, y'all can get mad at me if you want to. Sorry, I'm hurting anybody's feelings, but it is what it is. That is a spine issue, assuming that your bow's in tune. All right, I'm assuming that you have the correct arrow spine. You have, everything is set up the way it's supposed to be. That is indexing your broadhead and your with the stiffest part of your arrow. If you do that, I'm just telling you, you can shoot it whatever you want on the front of it, and it's going to do what it's supposed to do.
As long as it, I mean, I agree with you, but there are times you get heads that are out of spec.
Yeah, now that's like if there's something, what I'm saying, assuming that everything right.
else is perfect.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because one thing that Darton does, and I don't know if you guys, again, this is probably more information than anybody here wants to know, but when arrows are manufactured, you'll notice, like on the box of arrows, it might be a 3/1000 tolerance or a 5/1000 or a 1/1000. They don't set out to, okay, today we're going to do a run of 3/1000 tolerance arrows.
That's right.
We're going to do now we're going to do ones. They just make arrows. And then
it's got to fit within this spec.
Yeah, they test every one of them. Hey, this one has a 1/1000 tolerance. It goes over here. This one isn't as good. It's 3,000. It's going to go over here. That's how they make arrows. So
this is a $5 arrow. This is a $12 arrow.
Yes, and I mean, but that's how it's done, and that's you're trying to always make the highest tolerance you can possibly make. But
it's
it is
machining.
yes, it's a process.
Yes,
It is a
it's,
machine.
It's spec.
And so those that meet spec are going over here, and those that don't. And so, anyways, but one thing that they will also do that Darton goes kind of a step, or not Darton, but Black Eagle goes a step further in, is they actually find the stiffest part of your arrow and mark it. Because, and I'm going to nerd out too bad, but the stiffest part of your arrow needs to be up. It needs to face up. And if it isn't, a lot of times, especially if you just go in some big box store, they're going to cut your arrows and slam inserts in there and go, here you go.
Yep.
You're ready to shoot. And that may not necessarily be true. Arrow tuning is a process. And if Alan was here, he's like, there is no reason at all for anyone to ever bare shaft tune a compound bow.
Nah.
Ever. It's the dumbest thing in the world because you're not going to shoot a flexed arrow.
Yeah.
Right.
Which is true. However, this is what I'll say. Someone like Alan, who has a bow in his hand every day and sets them up for customers every day, does he have to bare shaft tune to get someone's arrow to fly right? No, absolutely not. Somebody who does this once a year, something like that, the bare shaft method is the way to guarantee that the thing is flying as good as it can possibly fly.
Right.
Then go put some vanes on it. It's still going to fly good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So do you have to do that? No, of course not. Is it the fail-safe way? In my opinion, yes. So that's why I do it. But if there's any spine issues, if there's any, something that's weird, it's going to show up here.
Yeah.
So
that's why either you need to learn to build your own arrows. And look, I know not everybody can do that. I don't have time to do it either. But that's why somebody that nerds out on it, like Taylor, or like Alan, or like my buddy Ben at Hoover Tack, build my arrows for me. And I am more than willing to pay a high price for that to occur. Because if you think about how much you've got invested in doing all this, you want to make dang sure that every variable that you can control is controlled.
That's right.
Yep.
And beyond that, it puts a kind of this negative connotation or, out there of like, oh man, them fixed blade broadheads won't fly worth a crap. I got to shoot an expandable. You can shoot an expandable if you want to.
Right.
If that's what your preferred, what you think it makes you more lethal, that's fine. But to say that, oh, them things are pieces of crap, they won't fly.
They'll all fly.
They'll fly. Apart from buying something off of Temu or Amazon or something that's just junk, if you go into a pro shop and buy a high-quality broadhead, they will fly.
Yep.
Just tune your bow. And make sure your stuff's in tune. And if you don't know how to do that, take it to a professional and let them do it.
Yeah.
But,
like, one of the things that got me kind of moving around fixed blade heads years ago was weighing them. Mm-hmm. Put them little things on a scale, and you'd be like, this is a pack of 100s, and that one weighs 118. This one weighs 112. Oh, this one's 99.
Yep.
You may have to buy several packs to get something, that's concise enough to actually group together exactly where you want them to.
Yes.
And so I'm that meticulous. It costs me more money.
Absolutely.
But by gosh, they're going to be right on the money.
Yep. Oh, that's right. And
manufacturing's gotten better.
Absolutely. 1,000%. Man, I mean, look, 25 years ago, 30 years ago, you would not catch people around here dead with an expandable open in flight garbage broadhead because they were awful, but it's not like that now, man. Manufacturing, the tolerances, the machining that goes involved is so much better.
I'll say this too, though. We have gotten a lot better at manufacturing processes, but profits in certain companies, especially those that are owned by conglomerates or private equity that really those businesses are built solely around profit, they're not too good.
No, and that's what I mean about like
Yeah.
buying
If you're buying good stuff, and look, pro shops sell some of the conglomerate private equity stuff too. They just do. But a lot of these companies are putting out really, really good stuff.
They are. I mean, that's why I say,
That's why I like QAD.
yeah.
But-
I mean, and they have been that way for a long time.
Yeah.
I mean, everything they make,
Yeah.
really. But that's why I say, like, this is what I would call I don't know, the golden age of archery, the golden age of bow hunting, because you can go and say there's all different flavors of arrows, there's all different flavors of broadheads, different bows, different whatever. Chances are, it's all good.
Yeah.
Like whatever you want to,
Especially to say good enough for
yes,
how the vast majority of the public shoot.
yes. I
Right.
mean, I realize we're talking about getting ready for bow season, and I mean, right now it's June the 17th. Most people are going to open up their bow case 2 weeks before the season starts, fling a few arrows, and go, let's go kill something. And then as soon as bow season's over, or as soon as gun season opens, I should say,
They're going to put it up.
they're going to throw it
Yeah.
back in the case and not touch it again until the next year.
Well,
Yeah.
there was a time I could shoot the difference of a really, really high quality setup versus a low quality setup. That gap has shrunk now.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't shoot near as well as I used to. But it's the same thing with a rifle. Will a box rifle off the shelf that comes from, well, Walmart, I don't think, does Walmart still sell guns?
I think they sell
Yep.
shotguns.
Okay.
Shotguns and muzzleloaders.
Well, one that comes out of the box that you buy from a box store, okay? Will it kill a deer? Will it shoot well enough to kill a deer? Sure. Will a custom-built rifle kill a deer? Sure. But there are a lot of shooters that can't appreciate the difference in the two because they can't shoot the difference.
Yep.
These guys that are spending a lot of money on high-powered rifles that are shooting competition or shooting long range, they can shoot the difference. That's why they're spending $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 on a rifle.
Yep. Yeah.
And it can be the same with archery. If all you're going to do is go shoot a doe, once a year, and you might kill a buck, do you need just perfection? No, probably not, because you're probably not shooting enough to realize the difference in the two.
No.
But
No, and that's the thing is, like, all you want as a bow hunter is the equipment that is going to outperform your own abilities.
yeah,
If it can do that, you're good. You know what I mean?
they even got bows that you don't have to hold back anymore that sit crossways.
They have triggers, like
Yeah,
actually,
yeah.
and a stock. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Shots fired.
Just
Yeah.
kidding, guys. We're kidding. Hunt with whatever you want. We don't care. It's a joke.
There will be some people that will take that so serious they'll probably never listen again.
Oh, I'm so
it's-
sorry,
it's
guys.
all
It's a
right.
joke.
It is. Lighten up. Lighten up.
Y'all need your own season.
Yeah.
And I guess last thing, I know we're kind of running a little long here. Last thing I want to talk about is your actual practice regimen. Like, what do you feel like constitutes, hey, I feel like I've practiced enough today that I'm maintaining form, I'm getting muscle memory, the mental aspect is being built up. Like, do you feel like you need to go and shoot 100 arrows a day? Do you feel like
No.
you need to go shoot, once every 4 or 5 days? Is that enough? Like, what is your go-to
right.
on that?
So, Taylor, once I get my bow sighted in at the various yardages that I want to practice at, which, that may take several dozen arrows a day for the first couple of weeks. Just get everything sighted in, go out there and repeat the thing, repeat what you did the next day, make sure everything's good. Once I know my bow is doing what I want it to do, I will walk outside. I will stop, hit a target with a rangefinder, whatever distance it may be, shoot an arrow and go inside till the next day.
Yep.
What are you going to get when you're hunting? One shot, one opportunity, more than likely. I think that, we've already talked about it. If you get out there and you fatigue yourself every afternoon
Yep.
and develop poor form, you're not helping yourself become a better shooter.
Absolutely.
And I'm skinny, but I'm a fit guy.
He's scrawny.
I'm a scrawny guy. I'm wormy.
He ain't fit.
but I'm fit. Okay, so I don't need to go out there and build muscle mass and shoot 24 arrows a day. I don't need that. Now,
He fitting in them baby gap clothes is what he's fitting.
So I'll just go out and shoot an arrow, maybe 2, and go inside. I'm done for the day.
Yep.
And that's what I'll do, say from the middle of August until the opener of our bow season. I'll just shoot an arrow a day, several times a week.
Yeah,
and that's it.
And that's more just for confidence.
Yes.
It's just to go, yep, okay, the bow's still on.
Yep.
My form's still good.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever.
That's how I do it. I don't know what y'all do, but that's what I do.
Well, I don't start the year by shooting that much to set my bow up generally. I don't like to shoot more than a dozen at a time. Now, I might shoot in the morning and shoot in the evening, but once I'm confident things are where they are, I shoot 9 arrows.
9. Yep.
I keep my 3. This got broadheads on it. I shoot at different dots on the target. I go pull those, come back, generally pick a little different distance. I'll start it. Generally, where my target's sitting right now is 85 yards. I'll start there. I'll just grab my bow. I'll walk up. Don't use a rangefinder. Just estimate the yardage. Shoot 3 more. And, if I'm off, then I know that I have messed up my distance. And generally, I'll check my distance after I've shot with a rangefinder. Just go, okay. Because I'm just simply trying to calibrate my eye instead of relying on a rangefinder for every shot.
Yeah.
And then I'll go pull those, and I'll arbitrarily pick another spot, shoot 3 more, and that's it.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, I'm similar. Listen, there's a difference between shooting to get prepared or maintain your form or whatever, or shooting for fun. Like hey man, I like shooting my bow. I want to shoot. I want to shoot a bunch of arrows. Like that's fine if that's what you want to do.
Yeah.
But purely from like getting ready to go hunt, I will never recommend people shoot 50, 60, 100 arrows a day. That's crazy.
You build too many bad habits.
Yeah. I mean, when you get that exhausted, that fatigued, it doesn't matter who you are. That's a lot of arrows to shoot in one day.
Yeah.
And you're going to start to have some fatigue and your form's going to break down. And then you start training yourself to do bad things.
Yep.
Stuff. So I'm the same way. I generally shoot about 6 to 8 arrows in a day, and I don't care. I really don't. It sounds weird, but I don't really care where the arrow goes.
As long as you feel like a broke.
Yeah, I feel like I didn't punch the trigger. I didn't anticipate anything. I just held hard in the target, and I just let the release go off. And generally speaking, it goes where I want it to go.
Yeah.
But that's all I'm concerned with because, the equipment you got now, it's extremely rare. Somebody sets up your stuff that knows what they're doing. Yeah. Your bow just doesn't just go out of whack overnight.
Right.
You just don't have stuff like that.
You drop it, do something crazy.
Yes. But assuming you shot it and then you hung it on a hook until the next day, it didn't morph overnight. So
something in your form is different.
Yes.
You need to figure it out. And now, for heaven's sakes, with all the ability to film yourself, GoPro, cell phone, video camera, whatever, I highly recommend filming yourself.
Yep.
And that's even shooting rifles. You will see your bad habits.
Flinch.
Yes, absolutely. And when you talked about proper setup, and the one thing that I rarely ever see anybody talk about is how your release should be set up, depending on what kind you use. Yep. Where you should be, putting your trigger if you're using a wrist strap, or man, you throw a wrist strap on and one day you've got it on in hole number 3 and 2 days later you've got it on hole number 5. You got a crank down on there for some reason. And that's one reason I will not use a Velcro wrist strap.
Yep.
Will not, because it's at a different spot every time you put it on.
Yeah, have y'all seen the release that I use?
Yeah.
Which one is
yours?
It's
a Scott.
You actually hold
It's the
hold
grip.
it.
It's molded to fit in between your fingers and the palm of your hand.
But it's still an index finger.
Yes.
It's not a thumb.
Yeah, right.
Well, see, I shot a thumb release for a long time, and I did like it, but I mean, even though they were really, really nice releases, I just never got it where I felt like I had it perfectly positioned on my thumb to have the same exact pressure on it every time.
Yeah.
Like I can a wrist strap. Not, Scott's no more, but
They're CBE now.
yeah.
Well, Scott is around. There's not the same.
Right, not
So-
the same.
Yeah.
So the Scott release the original that I have, I'm 42. I've had it since I was 14,
Really?
and I still use it.
Yeah.
That's
And
awesome.
then I bought a backup about 12 years ago because they don't even make them anymore.
What
The one that I got.
is
Yeah.
it B3? Is that
B3. Yep. Shout out to B3. If you want to sponsor us, you can. It'd be sick.
Yeah, that's the wrist strap that I've got, and love them. Been great. And one thing that I am really bad about with my hunting equipment is if I know I really, really prefer something, I got more than one.
Yeah.
Generally, I've got 2 or 3.
Yep.
And I think I carry it around. Of course, I mean, as a guide / outfitter, at times people need releases. I think I keep 6 in my backpack.
Oh,
Releases. I keep 2.
No, they don't all go to the woods, but
Right.
when I'm hunting, I've got 6 releases on hand.
yeah.
I've got
Mine,
2. So
mine are exactly the same to the point that, mine's the kind that's got the little Allen screw.
Yeah.
That's got the little point.
It impales it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So, I mean, they're measured to the dadgum centimeter
Yeah.
of exactly the same place.
They
Because I have seen a lot of people. I tried to diagnose, and look, I'm no archery coach, but I wasn't a bad shooter, especially younger. But he was just erratic, and his form was looking pretty good. And I was like, I just don't see it. And I finally got to paying really close attention to nothing but his trigger. And he was trying to reach the trigger. I was like, oh, you got to back that thing up.
Back that thing up.
Oh, me. And when he finally backed it up and got it, so that he could have his finger just wrapped and just, ease
Touch.
back. Yeah. Too many people are doing this.
yep.
This, and I'm pulling a trigger like I'm squeezing a trigger for a rifle. That's not how you shoot archery equipment.
Nope.
You put that thing on there and you squeeze those shoulder blades.
Yep.
And that little bit of pressure on that in that joint of your finger is what pulls your trigger.
I had a student when I was still a student pastor that was wanting to get in bow hunting and stuff. And so he came to the house and we were shooting one afternoon, and same deal. I had noticed him doing kind of some erratic stuff, and I got to watching him, and he had a wrist strap too, and command style release. Well, most of the time when you draw, or at least when I've shot them, put your finger behind that trigger because that way you can't set it off when you're drawing
And punch yourself in the face.
Yes, and that is not fun. But anyways, he normally once you get it back to full draw, go ahead and lay your finger on there and get ready. Well, I'm watching him. I didn't realize it at the time. He had his finger behind the trigger, and when it was time to shoot, it was whack.
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Whack.
Yes.
So, I'm like, dude, that's a way too much motion.
Yes.
For you.
Behind, like my one of
So
my
like,
roommates.
if this is the trigger to pull it,
He's
Yeah.
pushing on the back of the trigger.
The back of the
and
trigger.
so whenever
then
he's
wrap
ready
it
to
around.
shoot, he just goes, okay, whack.
No.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
No.
So
My he was my best friend. He passed away a few years ago, but my buddy Eric, that's when he was having so much trouble. I was like, I don't know, man. He was calling me. He's like, it's just, it's just a rat. I'm like, without seeing, I don't know. And he was doing that. I mean, it's like your wrist has to make a whole little circle before you slap that trigger.
That's crazy.
And I was like, oh yeah, that's not going to work.
no, but talking about the practice regimen and stuff, Alan said something in the shop one time, and I think on the surface level, to somebody it might sound arrogant, but somebody of his stature, a guy that has done what he's done.
It's not arrogance, it's experience.
Yes, and he said he made a comment one day. He was like, "Gosh, I'm so behind. I haven't shot like I normally shoot to get ready for tournament season and stuff." And he was like, the good thing is like I don't have to practice like the way other people practice.
Yeah.
Because I know my tendencies so well. I know what things I mess up on. I know what things I don't do well. And I don't have to go shoot, 3.5 months straight and shoot 200 arrows a day. Like I know what I need to do to correct myself.
Right.
And I can do that in a dozen arrows or 2 dozen arrows or whatever. And, I'm like, man, what do you mean you don't have to practice? He's like, no, I'm saying I have to practice. I don't have to practice like
I have to practice the right way.
Yes, I don't have to practice like everybody else is having to practice and shoot crazy amounts of arrows. So,
and you want to get a real surprise, and I never could shoot one. But a dadgum back tension, good Lord.
I had a longhorn that I'd gotten pretty comfortable with. But once I started shooting the thumb, so like you said, Scott.
Yeah.
So I have a Scott Exus, which isn't made anymore. But whenever I shot it and just loved it. I shot it during 3D season, and then it got to be time to start hunting season. And I get that wrist strap out, and I'm about to put it on, and I was like, man, I ain't putting this thing on. I'm going to shoot this, whatever. And so fortunately, it's a one that has a spring-loaded, clasp, and so it will clip on your D-loop and hang there. So that's what I hunted with. And then when they sold and eventually B3 came, they put out one called the Versa.
Yeah.
And if you hold them, on top of each other, it's a carbon copy of, it's the same thing. And so I've shot the Versa and I've got that Exus as a backup.
Yeah.
But one thing on the thumb button side is I can't shoot it as a button. Like I can't shoot it as pressing the button with my thumb. Now Alan kind of showed me this, and a lot of people hate it, but it's worked for me. But if you can take the barrel and turn it, and have it where it's in the webbing of your finger.
See, that's what I always wanted to get just right, and I just never could.
It works for me because Alan's like, he said, I can tell you what I do. I'm not saying it'll work for you.
Right.
But like, the way that I shoot it is I'll put it in the webbing, and then I'll take my thumb and I touch it to that first knuckle. And as long as I do that, then it's in the same place every time. And so I started doing it. It's man, I don't know. It's not to sound arrogant or anything, but I've killed a lot of animals with that really. And it's just because it's just so you actually get a little bit more draw length out of a bow that way because it's shorter with a wrist strap. You've got the strap and you've got that long barrel. So you know what I mean? You just need to figure out what you want to do and be consistent with it.
I shot the Boss X for years, and it's another spring loaded, and I'll tell you, if you bump it just right, it will fall out of the tree.
Oh no!
It'll go whee, poof, in the leaves down below you.
I hadn't done that yet.
I have. I've done it.
Yep. So don't do that.
No,
especially if you only have one, because then you're going down the tree.
You got to come down.
Yeah, I was very fortunate that I think I've told this before, but lodge hunt. It was a February hunt at Alabama River, and I saw the biggest deer I've ever seen on the hoof in Alabama, like by far. I mean, I don't know what it would have scored, but it was
like 112.
Yeah, 113 whole inches. This really was an absolute stud of a deer. But it had rained, and I had left. I never do this. I always put my release in my backpack. Always, it's in my right side little waist belt pocket. Well, it was raining, and I guess I was just in a hurry to get out of the tree, and I didn't put it back. So I get up in my tree. This is the last day of the hunt, and if you guys, for context, we're going by the live weight of the deer that you harvest. Heaviest deer gets paid out. You can win money and all this type of stuff. So this is Sunday morning. We have to weigh in at 12. We haven't killed anything all weekend. I get up in the tree. It's finally stopped raining, and I get up in the tree about 9 o'clock. We've got 3 hours or so before we've got to get down, if we shoot something, get weighed in. Rain stops, and I realize my release is gone. So at this time, it was the Exus. B3 wasn't a thing. So all I had was my Scott Little Goose wrist strap. So I'm like, all right, I dig around my backpack and I find it, and I haven't shot that release in a long time, So as soon as the ring stops, these 3 does pop out, and I shoot the biggest one of them I can see, and I pull the shot so bad. Like I didn't mean to, I wasn't trying to, but luckily I ended up pulling the shot forward and heart shot her. But I was not trying to. It was me trying to get back in that release, making my draw length too long, and pulled it, shoot her. She runs 15 yards and dies. Then I text my dad. I'm like, hey, I got one down. I can see it, all that kind of stuff. And I'm hunting flooded like water oaks, basically. It's like 4 or 5 inches of standing water all around me. And you can hear the deer running through this stuff before you ever see them. So those other 2 that ones I didn't shoot, take off running away from me. And I text Dad, tell him I've got one. Just a few minutes later, I hear splashing through that swamp. And here they come right to me, and they get to where I shot that first one, and they just whirl around and run backwards. I'm like, they're back where they came from. I keep hearing splashing, though, and here he comes. I mean, I'm talking about a giant Alabama deer, and he runs and does the same loop. He's just can't put his nose on the ground because it's water, but he's as close to the water as he can get it.
Yeah. And
he's just chasing them like crazy and whirls around. But if he had come out there and given me, I would have missed him. There's no, because it was a miracle I shot the doe, So I'm kind of, in a weird way, I'm thankful that didn't have a crack at him, because I would have been sick.
Well, I know we got to close this one out. Got a couple things. One, we need to do Brock's little property highlight there.
Mm-hmm.
But one thing with 2 parts: glove and face mask, or no?
No face mask, gloves 100%.
Neither.
You don't wear gloves?
I don't wear gloves or face mask either.
How do you bow hunt with no gloves? With it 30 degrees outside.
Now, if I may put one on my bow hand, I can't. I need the dexterity in my right hand to shoot my release.
I don't guess I've ever shot a deer without a glove on.
Shooting a wrist strap, I would shoot with one on the wrist strap hand before I'd shoot one. I cannot stand having something between me and the bow, and I don't care how cold it is. Now, I guess I could go somewhere that was
golly, y'all crazy.
That was Arctic cold, and
sure.
I couldn't do that. But weather here,
I hunt in some pretty dang cold days here, like days where I can't hunt without coverings over my fingers.
I've never put a glove on in Kansas.
Really?
Never.
Are you kidding me? This changes my whole opinion of you, Jeremy.
Badass, I know.
That's right.
But no, I mean, if my hands, I'm going to keep them warm. But obviously, the bow's cold. And I've had some frigid hands holding the bow. But I cannot stand having something between my skin and that bow.
Now,
I just don't feel like I know exactly how my grip is.
I cut the finger out of my trigger finger and my thumb, but I'm still wearing gloves.
I have worn gloves in instances where I was trying to keep no-see-ums off of my hands from getting just absolutely lit up.
In early bow season, they'll tear your butt up.
I generally don't wear, even then, I don't wear it on my bow hand. I'll keep it covered until it's time to grab the bow.
Well, see, I don't wear a face mask because it once again changes your mechanics.
Yes, I will not wear a face mask.
Yep.
No.
And I got a beard, and y'all both got facial hair.
That's all I got.
Yeah, but that breaks up the outline of the white on your face.
Well, see, I always keep the bow right here.
Yeah.
So that they can't see my face anyway.
Speaking of that, when you're in the stand or in the blind or whatever, and you're actually ready to hunt, quiver stays on the bow, or quiver comes off?
Off. Always off. That changes your point of impact too.
Yes. So
considerably.
First thing I do when I get in the tree, that thing's coming off.
Yep. Yes, it has to.
If I'm tree stand hunting, if I'm hunting in the south, quiver's off. If I'm hunting out west, my setup is to shoot with quiver on. I will either take a completely different setup that I've practiced with, or I will adjust things so that I'm shooting with quiver on.
I got one for you. Do you hang your bow or do you hold it?
I'll hang it. For
That's
sure.
so dumb.
I hang it.
Oh,
No,
no.
I'm not holding my
No
bow.
wonder y'all
all-
don't kill deer with your bow.
I'm not holding my bow for 5 hours.
Hey,
I
It's
hold
crazy.
it for 5 hours.
No
Never put
way,
it down.
man.
No, I look.
You
I-
can't. You have to be ready.
I'm ready.
I'm ready.
You're not ready if
Oh,
you got to
yeah.
reach for your bow. You're not ready. You can't tell me you're ready.
Okay, you sit down or stand up the whole time.
I stand the majority of the time.
Okay, at least you stand.
That's
But
consistent.
look, I've got a long tree hanger. I was going to say stabilizer. I've got a long
I
tree
was
hanger.
going to say something else.
I didn't know what he was going to
I mean-
say.
Yeah, we don't want to go down that subject.
No, we sure don't.
It wouldn't be a very long one.
My gosh. What have I gotten myself?
But I think the one I've got now that I like so well is a hawk, and
Yeah.
and I can screw it in, and it swivels right at the tree. I can screw it right behind my head, and if I, depending on where I'm hunting, what kind of setup I'm in, I like standing most of the time. But when I am standing up, I will have that bow hanger extended so that the bow is hanging right here, and all I've got to do is just put my hand on it, and I'm used to that setup. And when I take the bow off, I use the limb of the bow. I'll just take and I'll roll that thing around out of the way a little bit. Good.
Now, granted, like I don't know when the last time I hunted out of a tree stand. It's been a couple of years now. I'm always hunting out of a saddle, and so
It's hanging against the tree.
I'm facing the tree, and my bow is right here.
Yeah.
So I mean,
It's added movement.
I go like this and grab it, and I'm still behind the tree the whole time. You know what I mean? So
I minimize all movement. I don't want any movement in the tree other than me drawing.
I couldn't hold my bow that long. That'd
Yes, you
drive me-
can.
that would
Oh,
drive
you
me-
can. I
Grant,
just
well, hang on. Where I hunt has a lot to do with that, though. If
Yes.
I'm like, if I see a deer today, it's going to be, blind luck, whatever. But now if I'm over at Brock Acres, then
well.
there's like, hey, there's a herd of 30 that's going to roll through here in just a
like
minute.
Well,
then I could probably hang on to my bow.
Yeah, my deal is what kind of setup am I hunting? If I'm in a thicket and all I've got to shoot is what I can see and shoot, I'm not going to leave the bow hanging up very much. But if I'm in the Midwest and I can see everything, no, it's hanging up.
Well, see, I've also got a little cam pouch that goes to my belt loop
Yeah.
or my belt, and
Rested.
I rest my cam in it, but I'm still holding the bow.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
There's a little thing that I think Painted Arrow makes it. It may be somebody else, but it's made to go on a set of bino straps. And
Yeah.
it's just a hook.
mhm.
So you can, like you're saying, you can have it resting against you, but it's just
Well-
that hook will get in your D loop and you
Yeah.
can just like let it hang there.
I'm going way back on this one. They may make it again now that Primos is, I think they sold years ago,
Okay.
best I remember. But the ghetto bow vest that they had, I mean, the old thing,
Nice.
it's got a strap. It's got a little hole cut in the bow vest, and it's got a strap that you can pull through, and you can put your cam in it so that you don't have that little cam pocket.
Mhm.
And I still wear that.
Yeah.
I mean, that vest is 20 years old.
That's awesome.
They're all horizontal pockets.
Oh, nice.
So I keep in that vest, I've got a wind checker in the top pocket, and the bottom right pocket I've got, if I'm gonna wear gloves, that's where I would keep them. If it's early season, anything like that, where I'm getting lit up by mosquitoes and no SIMs. But my little hand snips, okay, the bottom left pocket is where my release is always at. The next pocket is a rangefinder. And if I forget anything,
You can feel it. Like,
yes, it's right there.
yeah.
And as long as I've got that vest and my bow, I know I can go hunt. Now, if I forget that vest, I'm screwed
Yeah.
because it's got everything I need to hunt in.
I forgot. I I prepped. I drew an SOA hunt one time at Oak Mountain, and I prepped a tree, put my platform, sticks, everything in the tree the day before. Went walking in that night, or that next morning, and got to the base of the tree and went, "Oh crap! Just forgot my saddle."
I'm gonna sit on the ground
I guess
today.
I'm gonna sit on the ground today. Yep, I've done dumb stuff like that too.
All right, Brock. Let's close her out. What's your property highlight today?
Well, I've got a property in Lamar County, kind of
Lamar County,
Alabama.
There you go.
Yeah, kind of central part of the county. It's 340 acres.
That's a good one.
It's got 2 bodies of water, 5.5 acres and 1.2. It's got good county road frontage, got power, well water, 1,550 square foot cabin.
Nice.
That was recently renovated, interior and exterior. And
What kind of wildlife we got on there, Matt?
we got a lot of deer, good deer. There's good deer population there, good quality. If you know much about Lamar County, it's got a lot of turkeys. It's got some waterfowl. It's got a creek bottom going through it with some
Nice.
some wetland areas. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there, especially for a outdoor recreation minded family or individual. It's a nice track. You can check it out at Tut Land on our website.
Tutland.com.
Yep.
And look up that smiling pretty face of Matthew Brock.
Try it.
It's on
If
there.
you want to see it, he will show it to you.
He will.
I sure
Private
will.
showing with Matt Brock.
Yeah. Hey, look, that's worth money. There's
That
people
is.
that pay for that.
That's right.
Golly.
Like, hey, I didn't have any interest in buying this property. I just wanted to hang out with you.
Yeah,
for
and
an
if you
hour
think
or two.
about it this way, if he's your agent, I mean, you've got his signature right there on some documents.
That's
There
right.
you go.
Yep.
There you go.
That's right.
Got the autograph of the legend.
Yep.
Autograph of the legend. Guys, listen. I don't know when this episode will air, but come see us at the Deer Show,
Yeah.
July 17th through the 19th.
The World Deer Expo.
Yep. World Deer Expo, Birmingham, Alabama, BJCC.
We might have a few things to give away.
We might.
Never
Yep.
know.
You never know.
You have to come to find out.
And we may have a few people for you to come see too. You never know.
Yeah.
May have a few people.
Brock will be there.
He
I will
will.
be there.
Yep. And
I think Bray will be there. So us three, Bray,
Yeah.
Mark.
Misty will be there.
Yep.
And of course, we're right
Eddie will
next-
be right
Eddie,
next
Eddie
to us.
Salter will be there.
Yeah, we may have a few more biologists, foresters floating around the show. So if you need some advice on land management, come by.
Yep. Or if you just want to come hang out, of course, we will have some merch there. If you want to buy a shirt, hat,
If you want
whatever.
to bring us lunch, text us ahead of time and bring us lunch.
Or if you just want a crisp high five, we have those for free.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we appreciate you guys hanging out with us. And look, tell somebody about us. Like, share, subscribe, follow, all the things. It helps us out more than you know. And obviously, this thing is fun to do, but it is demanding, and we would like to make maybe a little money off of it. So if you can help us out with that and help boost the engagement and the follower count and all that good stuff, we would really appreciate that.
Absolutely.
So appreciate you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.
Out.
See ya.